Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, it's so wonderful to be back with you. Well, here it is, Saturday night, and you know what that means? Time for our Saturday night seance. That's right. Just in case you haven't seen, I did put out a video earlier today as well. You still might want to check it out, even though it's a little later in the day. I put out horoscopes for today. This weekend, Psychic Bob is probably going to be a little behind on getting out the horoscopes on time, so bear with me, okay? But I'm sure glad you're here. And Saturday night seance, for those of you who are new here, is a kind of a regular tradition. Each Saturday night we gather. I'm a trance medium, or commonly called a trance channel. I go into trance and the spirit world speaks through me. And I tell you, I'm as amazed by it all as everybody who watches, because I never know what's going to happen. You know, they just come through and it's always something fascinating. So anyways, I encourage you, just pull up your chairs here, gather around, and let us see what the spirit world has. You know, if you enjoy tonight's stuff, you might want to pop over to my website. I'll put the links below and check out my book, Messages from Rose. This deals with my trance work, my experiences channeling my guide Rose. So, you know, check that out. I also have other books over there, Ouija Mysteries, and I can't find the other copy. I have a copy of Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom as well, and there are a few others over there. But you can visit my website at www.robert-hickman.com and get copies of all my books. So definitely pop over there, check it out, okay? Well, you guys are the best, and I'm going to settle down, go into trance, and we will see what the spirit people have for all of us. So, welcome to our Saturday night seance. Oh, greetings there. This is Fletcher. So good to be back with you. Give us just a moment while we get control of the medium's vibration. Well, there we go. We've got a steady energy stream going on here. Well, we got some people want to be talking to you, so I'll be stepping from the body. The earthly light spectrum is far smaller than the actual spectrum of reality. Many people look upon the earth and they say, well, there is light and it is made up of 7 colors of the rainbow. But I can tell you over here that the light of bright brilliance, that is divine light, has a form that is far vaster than any light that you can imagine upon the earth. Do not think that your physical eyes are all that there is to see. There are realities that are far greater than anything your physical eyes can see. When I was on the earth, sometimes I would take drugs and I would swear that I would see colors that do not exist on this earth. I have since come to learn that in those drug-induced stupors, I was very close to death and was perceiving realities of the astral realm. In the spirit realm, there are realities that are far greater than the earth realm. There are beings here that do not exist upon your earth. There are colors that do not exist upon your earth. Life here has a many forms. It's very multifold and manifold. It is not limited as it is on the earth. Humans make the mistake of thinking that all that they see is all that there is. But you can understand that there is more if you will look into your dream state. When you sleep at night, in your dreams, you have realities that seem more real than earth. And for many of you, you are astral projecting. You're traveling outside of your body, and you're seeing realities that are true realities. Though in the morning you return to your body and you say, I've only had a dream. But please try to understand that not all dreams are simply dreams. Some are true visitations to our realm. Some of you have seen realms of darkness and horror. These realms also exist. The human mind can make within itself a veritable heaven or a veritable hell. It is your consciousness that determines your reality upon leaving your body. In the spirit world, your vibration will bring you to a reality that corresponds to it. And so if your vibration is low, one of hostility, one of hatred, this is the vibration that you attain in the etheric realms. Many of you live on the edge of the etheric, and it is this reality that drifts and bleeds into your very reality. Some of you have said, Alfred, help me, I have a fear of a great monster about me. And for those of you who have such fear, many times it is a reality, for your consciousness is not as evolved as it should be, and therefore you draw to yourselves beings and creatures of lower vibration. Over here, as I said, there are veritable hells, and in these hells the demons exist, and the dark forces, and all that is evil within the mind and heart of humankind. But humankind has within itself that very spark of divinity, and if you rise to that divinity, then you will not have fear of that lower realm. So you always try to transcend it, try to understand that your reality must not stay in a low vibration. Humans spend all their lives focused on the material reality, and yet when it comes to the spiritual reality, they do not invest the time to understand this reality. It is a shame that many come here unprepared, and they arrive in the low levels of the spirit world and have no understanding of where to go or how to get out of the current situation. Sometimes high-level guides and angels come to see them, but still these people find themselves trapped. Rose was one such person. She's told me a story about her angels come to her, yet she pushed them away. She did not want them, and so she was left to her own devices. Please understand that in the spirit world, you have all total free will. You are not controlled, nor was your free will ever taken from you. If you wish to go to a dark region, you shall find yourself there. But equally so, if you wish to go to the light, you will find yourself in the light. So try to understand that it is your consciousness that drives your destination. Low consciousness, low-level reality. High consciousness, high-level reality. You can decide. Do not feel that it is up to your church to save you. No pastor, no priest, no minister, no rabbi can get you out of purgatory. It is up to you to get yourself out of purgatory. It is good that we should pray for all of these souls, for that light can help them. But ultimately it is the soul's own request and wish and desire to attain the higher realms that allow it to leave its veritable hell or purgatory. Purgatory is like a prison for the soul. It is where one is held back, one is detained. One could call it detention. Many of you in your earthly lives had experiences where you were detained, meaning after school you could not go and play with your friends. You could not go outside and play football or play soccer or whatever it is you'd like. You would be detained in your classroom, made to restudy your lessons. This detention also translates into the spirit world, for souls who are not broad-minded, who are not well-behaved, are held back from advancement. And this accounts for the purgatorial realms. Purgatorial realms are as hellish as you want or as heavenly as you want. There are souls in the higher levels of purgatory who would call it even veritable on the edge of paradise, and for them it is. Yet the soul knows that it is still yet detained, and it is this detention which creates the longing, the pain in the heart that says, I want to see the very light of heaven, and yet it is shielded from me. In the higher levels of purgatory there are shades of light, but they are still rather clouded. It would be the equivalent of looking through a frosted glass. If you look through a frosted glass, you can see light, but yet no form, or vaguely forms moving behind the glass. This is how it is in that realm. So it is a longing, a waiting. Souls there know that there is light on the other side of the frosted glass. They can begin to sense it, yet they are denied its full experience. This is part of the purgation of the soul, and the soul's purgation, though is painful, ultimately is for its benefit. I can speak in my own case that once I crossed into the light, I had freedom, and I had a lightness of being that I did not have in the previous realms of darkness. Unlike other souls, I did not progress upwards. I stayed in my veritable prison of darkness. It was in the prison of darkness that I wallowed and wandered. It was only when I started to question my true nature and remember who I truly was. As I told you in my youth, I had spiritual awakening and awareness, and yet I let it go and fell into darkness, and drug addiction, and immoral pleasures. And you see, it is only when I awakened from that stupor, that drug-induced stupor that led to my death, that then I began to question. If a soul questions, it means that there's progress in the soul, and the soul can make advancement. Please understand that in the spirit world, no soul is ever denied advancement that truly, unsincerely wants it. If you find yourself in this dark realm, should you die today and find yourself there, start questioning your reality. Ask and call for help. Angels will often come to those in the purgatorial realms. There are many people that reject them or push them away out of fear. It is true that to leave the purgatorial realm, one must face one's true self, which means letting all your knowledge and your experience and your reality be effused with the light of divinity. The light of God, or the light of the divine, or the light of spirit, however you wish to call it, is all the light of the higher power. Once it suffuses you and infuses you, you will have awareness, you will have healing, you will have rejuvenation, and you will have literally enlightenment. Try to understand that if you wish to have that light, you do not have to wait until you die. You may cultivate it while you're alive. So ask for the light to come to you even this day. Pray that your minds be illumined and that you will have the true light of spirit. Therefore you will have no fear and no pain. There are others who wish to speak, so I shall be leaving the body. My name is Alfred. Oh, this is Fletcher. Give us just a moment while we adjust the frequency of the medium. Oh, there we go. Yes, somebody else is here. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Can you hear me out there? You know, whenever we come into a medium's body, we always have to adjust the frequency and vibration. Every human on the earth has a distinct and unique vibration. As no two humans have the exact same fingerprints, so it is with the electrical current in each person's spirit body and physical body. The spiritual body operates at a frequency unique to itself, as does the physical body. Hopefully in a balanced person they're in sync, but when they're not in sync, it can create problems for a person. This accounts for as many as we'll speak about the chakras, and the chakras having imbalances. And these balances are when that the spiritual body is not tended to nor given nourishment. If you wish to nourish your spiritual body, you have to pray, you have to meditate, you have to let love into your life. Do you know, when you love others and you love the higher power, that love suffuses you and enters you, and you need not fear. You see, in my life, I had fortunately a small degree of that love in my life, and it is what had ultimately saved my soul in the end. My ignorance, though, was great, and I did not often use the great gifts and power that were available to me. And only I wish I had, you see, I would have been much further along today in my spiritual life. But you see, as Alfred has told you, you're so very right. You don't have to wait until you die to have spiritual awareness. You can start that very process today, but you must ask. You see, over here we are forbidden from interfering. You must give us permission to come into your life. And if you allow us in, then you have joy, and we'll have joy as well. You see, a unison between our world and your world produces great results. Many of your great artists, your world leaders, are channels. Now, they may not always consciously be aware of their channeling ability, but you see, for those who are open to our presence, we can do much. And if you really wish to have a partnership with us, then consciously call upon us, and we shall be there to help you. Please know that each of you have within you the gifts of the Spirit, because you yourselves come from heaven, and you are spirit beings on the earth incarnate. But just because you take a body, it only means that your spiritual senses are somewhat dulled. You've not actually lost your spiritual senses. You're only in a limited and confined body that in some ways does impede success, at least from a spiritual place. But Through the trials and tribulations of the earth life, you gain much wisdom and power, that when you return to our world, that knowledge and that ability expands in many ways beyond that which you can even imagine now. So I ask you today, remember to let light into your heart, let love reign in your lives, and have peace in yourself. You see, the human life without peace is one of great sorrow. You know, as Alfred was saying, that after death you attain the reality to which you are vibrating. So if you practice your life being in the higher realms, having love, having hope, having faith, then when you die, that will be your frequency. And you will be in realms with people filled with love in their life. And their soul light will glow, and your soul light will grow as well. Try to understand that the soul's light is brighter than any light upon the earth. Many of you have automobiles with halogen headlights, and if you were to turn on your headlight and look at it, it would be blinding to you, wouldn't it? But imagine if you could look at a light 1,000 times brighter than your brightest halogen lamp, and it not hurt your eyes, but in fact the light be cool and pleasing to it, and in fact invigorating. This is what the light is like in our world. It is so brilliant, yet it does not hurt their spirit eyes. Our spiritual senses are 1,000 times more sensitive than the earthly senses. So if you think now, oh, I can see everything with my eye, I can even see a little tiny speck of dust the size of a molecule. Over here, that little speck of dust, not only can you see it even 100 times bigger and larger and clearer, you can see and understand this reality, where it comes from and where it's going to. Understand that consciousness invades all reality here. So not only will you see things, you will understand what you're seeing. Not only will you hear voices and hear music, you will understand the intent behind the vibration. Your senses here are expanded in ways that you cannot imagine in your current earthly life. But do trust me, if you work on developing those senses while in the body, they shall be more sharply tuned than ever when you arrive here in the spirit world. And for those who do their work upon the earth, they develop themselves and help others along the way. Their transition to our world is one of great glory and joy. You know, when I came over, I had a very small greeting committee. I can't say it was quite a grand affair. But you see, that was because I had not returned with great honor to the spirit world. I was half-hearted and rather thick, you might say. Even that being said, the spirit world loved me and welcomed me with open arms, and they told me how very pleased they were that I arrived back home finally after a long sojourn away. And you know, when you return to the spirit world, I think this is the thing that is most important. It is like a homecoming. There's a strange familiarity about arriving at the gates of heaven. You see, when you arrive here, you say, it seems so vaguely familiar. And the fact is that it is truly familiar. It's familiar because you've come from here. You see, and when you return, then you will understand it. So don't worry about, will I be perfect enough to be in heaven? Do I look right? Over here you'll be clothed with a robe of brilliant whiteness. Some people have silver sashes, some have gold sashes, some have purple, any color you can imagine. But all of us here wear robes of whiteness. That means that we are tuning ourselves more and more every day to the light. In the spirit world, things are not stagnant. You don't sit on a cloud playing a harp all day. No, no, no. You're given work to do. Over here you can pursue your dreams, your hobbies, your inspirations to an extent that you are not limited. You can explore them forever because life here truly is eternal. Some of you, when you come here, will want to be spirit guides, and you will learn and be trained how to do the work with those who remain on the earth. So do not look at heaven as like, well, someday I'll get there and be bored sitting on a cloud, my dears. No, it's not at all like that. But it is a place of immense growth, immense opportunity, and truly, my dears, one of great joy. It brings me great joy to come here today to all of you. Fletcher's telling me that the power is growing weak, so I shall be stepping from our medium's body now. But I'm so very thankful for all of you. Please remember in the coming days to look for me and call upon me. And before the flower slowly fades, let me say I love all of you, and I send you my blessing. Hey, TVs, it's Psychic Bob. Well, it's always a wonderful experience when I get the chance to channel the guides, and I hope that this has been of some help to you tonight. I know it helps me because when they come through me, it literally is like light coursing through my body. It's an amazing experience. It's hard to explain in words, but it uplifts me and it brings me a lot of joy. If you've enjoyed this tonight, you might want to consider, as I said earlier, popping over to my website and picking up a copy of this book, Messages from Rose. You can get it over at robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link below for you. And while you're there, you can look at my other books, such as Ouija Mysteries. I've got that. Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. That's my latest book. I don't know where I put my copy of that, but it's around here somewhere. But anyways, this is a little sample of 2 of my books, and I have some others over there. And these are my books that I wrote and published, and I think you'll get a lot out of them. So definitely check it out. Ouija Mysteries, Messages from Rose. You guys are the best. I am so thankful that you're here, and I hope you'll keep it here at Spirit Channel. We always have more coming. Tomorrow's Sunday, so we'll have something fun. We may have a blog tomorrow. I have some more stuff to show you on my Louis Vuitton bag about some steps I've taken to improve it and preserve it. And you might enjoy that. A lot of you seem to really enjoy seeing my Louis Vuitton bag, and we'll have more of that tomorrow as well. So keep it here at Spirit Channel, and we'll see you back here. We'll have horoscopes. Probably I won't get them out today because of my schedule. So again, this weekend I'm going to be a little behind, but we'll have them tomorrow morning. We'll have horoscopes, so you don't want to miss that. But I'm so thankful that you're here, and I hope you'll keep it here. By the way, if you like this, hit subscribe. Be part of our channel. We'd sure love you to be here. Well, I am so thankful for all of you. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Blessed be. Love you all.